So, the four emotions that you want to evoke in any single first interaction that you ever have for the rest of your life, you can write this down, get it tattooed on your body. It is not changing anytime soon. This is wired into human beings, are these, right? And the sequencing is important here. I'm going to touch on why. But first, you want them to feel a feeling of positivity, lightheartedness, fun. You want them to smile, laugh, chuckle, or just be uplifted by your presence. This part is really important. Because if you think about it, you've probably never had a positive impression of someone and then walked away feeling glum, right? You've got to be somehow uplifted, and that's what you're aiming for with them. So that's the first thing. The second part that you're aiming for is a feeling of trust. This person needs to trust your motives. They need to know that you're not deceiving them. They need to feel like, at the very least, that even based on a short amount of time, that you're not lying to them. And this is one that is going to come through in body language more than anything. The third one, respect. This is where a lot of people try to start and they overdo it, right? When they drop their resume and who they know and all these sorts of things. But it comes third for a reason, because if it comes before trust in particular, you're going to go, okay, this person is trying to manipulate me, right? They're trying to show me all that they know, what's really cool about them, blah, blah, blah. This is why respect tends to need to come after trust. And I can say respect doesn't need to be with respect to anything in particular. Respect doesn't need to be with respect. Really, what it needs to do is it can be domain specific, as in an interview, so you garner respect from showing that you know a lot about Excel or the industry or whatever it is that you're interviewing for. But in the same interview, you can garner respect by leading the conversation. It really can be with regards to a specific topic or just you as an individual. And we're going to focus more on you as an individual because you can take that anywhere. And then the fourth piece, this is one that I see the most backwards. This is the most common one that people put first when they should put it fourth, is showing interest, like serious, genuine interest in the other person. And one of the most common cliched pieces of advice is that if you want to be interesting, be interested in other people, right? This comes from Dale Carnegie. It's in How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is a great book, notwithstanding this piece of advice. But the truth is, it's half complete at best. And you know this intuitively. I mean, I'm sure you've gone out to a bar or you've interacted with somebody who was high up in your company, or maybe you went to a networking event and you tried to interact with the speaker and you were genuinely interested, right? You had good questions, you'd been active listening, you were like really focused on them with eye contact. You conveyed to them that you were interested in them, but they didn't seem to care, right? You didn't make a fantastic impression. And the truth is, this is very, very common. The reason is because you don't distinguish yourself at all when you're interested in a VIP. Because guess what? So is every other person that they encounter in that context. And this goes for the CEO at your company. That's a VIP. Goes for the beautiful woman in a bar. There's a lot of guys coming up to her asking questions, genuinely interested in what she does, but she doesn't want to answer it for the millionth time. Same thing with the speaker at the networking event. You can and you should, in fact, show interest in the other person, but you need to distinguish yourself as someone that they should care about by first lifting their mood with some fun, garnering trust and respect. That's why it comes forth. And if you get this order whacked, you're in trouble. Now, conversely, if you leave this part out, you're missing a big part of it, because this is what really puts it on steroids. And if you think back, or I guess maybe you don't know this, but Bill Clinton is a famous, famous example of someone who really made everyone that he interacted with feel special. Why was he able to do that? Can you just mimic Bill Clinton's eye contact? Well, not exactly. Bill Clinton was the president of the United States, right? If he was interested in you when you walked into his car salesman lot and seemed really interested and had a genuine respect, you wouldn't trust his motives as much. You might not respect him, and maybe it wasn't any fun. But when he's the president, holy cow, does he have trust, respect? He cracks half a joke or smiles at you. You think he's the most fun person in the world. So it works for him to be genuinely interested and make fantastic eye contact, ask questions, remember names of the people that he interacts with. But that's because by default, he already has the first three. So you got to ask yourself in any context, which ones are going to be taken of for you and taken care of for you? Which ones will you have to go out of your way to do? So if you are the boss of your company or something, you might already have a certain degree of respect. And if it's with someone that is in your friend group, they might trust you implicitly. So you can hit on these less and less and can jump straight to making them feel good. But do not, you can't just leave these out of a cold first impression, because it will never go your way. So now what I want to do is take these four elements, and these really are critical. Like I said, you can tattoo them on your body. They're not changing. And I want to go through a number of video breakdowns, do some workshops, and of course just some more information from me to you in front of the camera of how to do these. So let's jump right now into some video breakdowns, starting with the first one, fun.
So now you know how to make amazing first impression on anyone, no matter where you are, as long as you hit these 4 emotions and, of course, get them in the right order. If you want to dive deeper in how exactly to do this, how to introduce yourself, how to stand, how to look, how to hold your body, and how to tell your story in a way that elicits fun, trust, and respect, I highly recommend you check out the First Impressions module. This has about an hour's worth of video content that dives very deep into the specific things that you need to say and do that are going to make people want to see you again, even if you only have a short interaction with them. And this isn't just theory or lectures, which can be very confusing, but we've also got a 5-day concrete action guide so that you know exactly what you need to practice on each and every day in order to make these amazing first impressions a habit. You're also going to get access to the comments section where hundreds of other people right now are mastering their first impressions. You get to see my feedback to them, as well as get my constructive feedback to you on your totally unique first impressions answers. And if that sounds confusing, it means that I'm personally going to be helping you answer where are you from and what do you do so that you can tell your story in the most effective, engaging way possible. Now, if you're interested in all of that, definitely sign up by clicking below, because today we are offering a discount on this that we don't offer on any other page, anywhere on our website, anywhere on YouTube, and that is the truth. The reason is because these videos on first impressions are actually part of a much larger course called Charisma University, and that's everything that you see here. Now, Charisma University is our flagship course. It costs hundreds of dollars, and in my opinion, it's totally amazing and worth every penny. But I know that several $100s is a lot to ask for a course that you may never have seen before. So I want to offer you a deal here since you just signed up to our newsletter. And that is that as part of Charisma University, this First Impressions course would normally cost $99. It's 1/6 of a $600 course. And that's what thousands of people have paid for it. They are paying for it today. That is not an exaggerated price. It's absolutely worth it. But like I said, only on this page, you can get access to the First Impressions portion of Charisma University. That's all of the videos that you see here, the action guides, the comments, my feedback to your questions, and you can get all of that today for $17, which is over 80% off. And I make that special offer because I want you to get a taste of Charisma University. I know that it's an incredible course, and I figure that by giving you a taste and letting you see the type of results that you can get immediately, you'll join the whole thing later. But even if you don't, you can still enjoy the First Impressions piece forever for just $17. And not only that, if it doesn't work out for you for whatever reason, just send me an email, and as soon as I see it, I will make sure that you get a refund. It is seriously that easy. And I purposely make it that easy because I know it's worth it. My goal is to make this for you a no-brainer, and I figure that by making it essentially free if it doesn't work out for you, that should do the trick. So, if you think that this is something that could benefit your life, because first impressions are hugely important, I highly recommend clicking the button below and joining now, since this is the only page that we have anywhere where the 80% discount is available for the First Impressions module. I promise you will not regret it, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.